Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. So this is a beer that I got on 𝗬ście. Pretty cool label here. The first beer I've ever had from 𝗬ście Brewing. It's called You May Ask Yourself Bohemian Style Pilsner, 4.6% ABV. 80s new wave style album cover art on there. I guess it's a collaboration with Highland Park Brewing. That's what HPB stands for. And I love when breweries put little messages under here. It says, "My God, what have I done?" Really fresh beer, though. All right, so I pour it into the 𝗬ście lager glass. I feel like I haven't used this in a while. Nice kind of golden, just straight up golden color. Maybe like slightly amber. Very clear. Get a big, white, poofy, poofy head on there. Maybe kind of like soap sudsy. Has died down a little. Let's give it a whiff. You know, I could actually smell this when I opened the can and I was pouring it, and it is like all Saaz hops. That's what, you know, if you ever had Pilsner 𝗬ście, and that's pretty much the only Czech Pilsner you can get in the States. Very, very similar smell. So it is a kind of peppery, but also, and it's slightly like skunky. Maybe you might call it like dank. Almost like a little buttery, which is, I believe, a little bit of diacetyl is acceptable for a Czech Pilsner, or really Czech premium pale lager style. So, I mean, if this is as good as Pilsner 𝗬ście, I will be very happy. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Yeah. Quite similar to Pilsner 𝗬ście. It's kind of like that. I mean, it's called a Pilsner because Pilsner malt is the base malt on here. They don't throw corn or rice or anything else in here, at least not in Europe they don't. Yeah, so it's like the taste of Pilsner malt. It has like a slight kind of, I was going to say like oily, but I think it's just like a hop oil kind of character going. I'm not sure if they dry hop this. It's really hard to get any information. Like 𝗬ście, even though like this is one of the it breweries of the moment. If you go on their website, it just looks like some tap room's website. So I couldn't really find anything about it. In fact, I had my only information about the beer is just on 𝗬ście itself. So I mean, it says for tasting notes, Saaz hops imparts classic floral nuances, a touch of peppery spice, bready notes of fresh baked bread, subtle honey sweetness, refreshing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay. Subtle honey sweetness. I agree. Maybe like that's, I mean, it's not a sweet beer. It's just like a subtle kind of thing. And if you've ever had Pilsner 𝗬ście, it's kind of similar to that. I will say, like, this beer is not, oddly enough, not quite as robust as Pilsner 𝗬ście. I always find Pilsner 𝗬ście, even though by the time it gets to America and even to Florida, you know, it's usually like 5-6 months old by the time it gets here. And like, this is a very fresh can. It's like not even 2 months old. And the intensity of the flavor here, I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's not. It's just like, I feel like the intensity of the flavor is lower than it should be. It is, yeah, I would call it like a little bit of peppery, kind of like a spice rack kind of flavor. I mean, Pilsner 𝗬ście has a very similar character. This is kind of lacking like the soft water of the Czech Pilsners. And like I said, like the intensity of the flavor overall seems like it's just like a tad mild. Maybe like they just use a little too much water or something. By the way, did you notice I color coordinated the microphone windsocked with the label? I got like 20 different colors now, so keep an eye out for that. For a lager, this has actually quite a bit of body to it. I probably put about medium body. Carbonation is a tad low, although I think that's normal for the style, but I'd probably put it about medium low CO2. It is not super effervescent and spastic like a lot of like your macro lager. And actually, I think the lower carbonation, it makes it much more drinkable. 4.6 ABV. You know, for a lot of people, that's like in the session territory. I think this would be, I don't know if I would session this because I think it's like a little too, like those hops linger. So like this is something you would want to have like with salty food or charcuterie board, something like that. Yeah. This is a nice, you know, American take on that Czech lager style. A little bit of lacing on here. Probably should have washed the glass first. Yeah, I like it. I don't love it. So, by the way, I got this beer on Tavor. It was only $6.99, I think, for this one can, which is not bad considering those Bottle Logic bottles are like 30-something bucks. I saw a Bottle Logic beer for like $7. I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. Oh yeah, by the way, so the rating for this beer, it's good. It's not great. I'm gonna go, I think about 7.5, maybe 8. It's somewhere between a 7 and an 8. As always, follow me on Untappd, and you'll see my final score because I do tweak the review when I sit down and actually write it out. I am sitting down. All right, so if you watch all the way in, you know you're awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys Tuesday night beer school. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it.
Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.